All right, so we're going to do weight and temperature. What we've done before, we did length, right? Inches to feet, feet to yards, yards to inches, feet to miles. The metric was the meter, kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. Change that by moving the decimal. Then we looked at volume, cup, gallon. We looked at area like acres, hectares, and the metric was liter. Today we're going to look at weight, and we're going to look at the temperature conversion. Weight for us is ounces and pounds and tons. For the metric, it is the grams with the same things, the kilogram, hectogram, decagram, gram, decigram, centigram, milligram, decigram, centigram, milligram. You change that the same way. You just move the decimals. All right. So this is all done exactly the same. This is nothing new. This is really just 3 lessons that cover the same thing, just different. All right. So we know what weight is. That's the measure of the gravitational pull on an object. Mass is the measure of quantity of matter in an object, right? 2 things weigh differently on Earth and the moon, but they have the same mass. If you went to the moon, your mass doesn't change. You're still made up of the same amount of matter, but you would weigh less. But in this section, because everything we're doing here on Earth, mass and weight is going to be equivalent, because we're not talking about if we go into space or go to the moon. Everything's on Earth. All right. So here are, in the United States, what we measure weight by: ounces, pounds, and tons. There's 16 ounces in 1 pound. There's 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. All right, so big objects we measure with tons. Like if we want to know how much an elephant weighed, we would either use tons or pounds, probably pounds. Something that's really big, we would measure in tons. Small things we measure in ounces. Like a feather, we're going to measure the weight of a feather in ounces. Here is the metric based on the gram. Notice it's still the kangaroos hop down. Instead of mountains of meters, we use grams, drinking chocolate milk. All right, if I want to go from centigrams to hectograms, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 hops to the left. So I'd move the decimal 4 hops to the left. This is how we're going to see it written. That's the same for liters, meters, or grams. If it were distance, you would change all those G's to M's. If it were volume, you would change all those G's to L's. And since this is weight, right there, a gram weighs about like a paper clip, right? So if I want to convert 8.7 decigrams to milligrams, all we're doing, decigrams to milligrams, is 2 hops to the right. So I'm going to take this decimal up here, and it's going to hop 2 spots to the right, and then I've got to fill in a 0. So that's going to be 870 is what that ends up being, 870 milligrams. Exactly like what we did before. So nothing new to spend a lot of time on. 950 milligrams to grams. Here's milligrams. That's 1, 2, 3 hops to the left. So my decimal, remember, when there's no decimal in a number, it's understood to be just to the right. And so this guy is going to hop 1, 2, 3 spots to the left. It is going to become 0.95. I could put 0.9450. That would be fine. But I don't have to put trailing zeros. So that's how we handle it in the metric system. All right, here's just some more. 1 cubic centimeter is equal to 1 milliliter is equal to 1 gram. This is when you talk about water. 1 cubic centimeter of water weighs 1 gram. 1,000 cubic centimeters or 1 liter, right? Everybody knows what a 2-liter bottle of soda looks like. Half of that, if it was filled with water, weighs 1 kilogram. And 1,000 kilograms equals 1 metric ton. All right, so you'll use any of these conversions. Now, between these, you use our dimensional analysis. All right, so aquarium holds 0.25 cubic meters of water. How much does the water weigh? We use the fact that 1 cubic meter of water, so what we have is 1 cubic meter of water equals 1,000 kilograms. So we start with 0.25 cubic meters over 1. We need to change that to kilograms because that's the weight. So what do we need to cancel? We need cubic meters to cancel. So the 1 cubic meters on bottom, the 1,000 kilograms is on top, and then 0.25 times 1,000 is 250 kilograms, right? That's exactly like we did before, nothing new. We want to change between US and metric. 1 ounce is about 28 grams. 1 pound is about 0.45 kilograms. And 1 American ton is about 0.9 metric ton. So if I want to go 160 pounds to kilograms, I've got to get my kilogram to pound conversion. 1 pound is about 0.45 kilograms. So 1 pound is about 0.45 kilograms. So if I start with 160 pounds over 1, I need pounds to cancel. So that means I'm going to put the 1 pound on bottom and the 0.45 kilograms on top. So it is 160 times 0.45. And who in their head can tell me what that is? Nobody, not me. 160 times 0.45, it's going to be about 72. That is 72 kilograms. All right, dimensional analysis. No problem. 300 grams to ounces. So we've got 300 grams over 1. We got to find our conversion. 1 ounce is 28 grams. 1 ounce, 28 grams. I need grams to cancel. So I'm going to put the 28 grams on bottom, the 1 ounce on top, and then that's going to be 300 over 28, and that's going to be ounces, and then I just punch that by calculator. 300 divided by 28 is 10.7, so that's about 10.7 ounces. All right, no sweat. All right, last thing, temperature. Now, temperature is just formula. We have 2 types of, there's actually 3, but we only really talk about 2 different measurements of temperature. Fahrenheit, which is what we use here in the United States, and then pretty much everywhere else in the world uses Celsius. Now, how do they compare? Well, we know water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, right? If it's below 32 degrees and it's rain, it turns to snow. Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius, water freezes at 0, boils at 100. So 212 degrees Fahrenheit is equivalent to 100 degrees Celsius. 32 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 0 degrees Celsius. And they use that fact to come up with these formulas that if I'm given Celsius and I want to know how much Fahrenheit that is, I just plug right into this formula. All right, and I'll leave this up on the board once I make the assignment. So if I've got 20 degrees Celsius, I put 20 in right here. I multiply by 9/5, add 32, and that's going to tell me how much it is Fahrenheit. If I've got 200 degrees Fahrenheit and I want to know what's that Celsius, I put 200 in for F, I subtract 32, and then I multiply it by 5 ninths. These calculators will multiply fractions. So that's all it is. All right. So here's one. 37 degrees Celsius. So they put it in 37 for C. Multiply 37 times 9/5. 37 times 9/5 is 66.6. You add 32, you get 98.6. All right. Here's going from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Say it's 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about what the temperature is today. I'm going to subtract 32 from it and get that's 45. Then I take 45 times 5 ninths, which is about 25. So 77 degrees Fahrenheit is 25 degrees Celsius. And we're not really going to talk about kelvins because we don't have anything we do with kelvins. All right. So that's it. I'm going to put this back up on the board so y'all can have that. Let me freeze that. If I can see. All right. And the assignment 9.3 is active. So y'all are good to start going right now.